welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to start the topic that is final keyword. So I have created one package, the name is com.final keyword, and inside this particular package I have created one class that is the name of final keyword. So before moving to the practical, I want to tell you about the some important topic about that final keyword. So basically final keyword is used to denote constant. If you want to declare any variable as a constant, that particular variable value you want to use in your program, in your project, or in your whatever the things you are trying to be develop, so you can use the final keyword. So basically it can be used with variables, method and class. So final variable can be used with method and classes, and also variable. So we are going to cover all these three concepts in about that final keyword. Okay, so here this is the notepad file. I will be open new notepad file and want to write some important concept about the final keyword. So what is the final keyword? If I'm talking about the final keyword, is denoted as a constant. So if you are declaring any variable as a final, that value will be you are going to store in the particular variable, that will be constant, you cannot change it. Okay, but if you are trying to create any method as a final, so you cannot override, because you cannot change the particular method value. And if you are making any class as a final, so you cannot inherit that particular class. Okay, so we are going to discuss about all these three, because if you are making any class as a final, you cannot be inherited by another class. And what is the inheritance, that also I'm going to discuss about, so don't worry about the topic. First we will start by step. So let's discuss about the final keyword first. So once any entity, that means variable, method or class, can be you are declaring as a final, so it can be assigned only once. Like as if the variable final variable, if you are declaring any final variable, that means variable cannot be reinitialized with another value. That means the variable cannot be reinitialized with another value. Okay, and the final method cannot be overridden. If you are writing any method as a final, so that method cannot be overridden. Okay, and the final class cannot be extended. So before knowing this, don't worry about, I will explain you about that override and inheritance and all these things. Okay, so here if I'm trying to write any variable, okay, like this, I have written final integer a is equals to 10. So here the a is a variable, the data type of the particular variable is integer, and the type of this data type is final. That means you cannot reinitialize this a variable value in your program, because you have declared as a final. So this is the main use of that particular keyword. Basically final keyword restrict to you to reinitialize. Okay, so it will restrict to you to reinitialize the keyword or data type, whatever the value you are going to assign. So that means the Java final keyword can be used with variable, method and class, that we are going to discuss about this. Okay, so Java final variable, if I'm talking about the with variables, so if you are making any variable as final, as I told you right now, you cannot change the value of that particular variable. What does that mean? It means that will be constant. Okay, so let's see the example of that final keyword. First I will tell you about that particular variable. So here I will go, I have opened this Eclipse. So here I'm going to create one variable, final integer data, and I have assigned this 10, suppose. Okay, so now in main method, if I this is my main, sorry, everything I'm going to write in main method only, that's fine. I can do this as well, but you need to create an object for that. So here what I'm trying to do is, here I'm trying to reassign this data is equals to 20, and I'm going to print this value, system.out.println, and data I have printed here. Although you are using Eclipse, so it will give you the instruction here only, the final variable data cannot be assigned, it must be blank and not using a compound assignment. Okay, so if I will run this program, what will happen? As it's showing right now only, you cannot do this, but let's try. What will be the error? the error itself, the final local variable data cannot be assigned. It must be blank and not using a compound statement. That means we have created one final variable name is data, and we have tried to change the value of that final variable which I have reassigned here. Data is equals to 20. So when you are going to run this program, you are getting a compilation error with this particular message, right? That is recommended to use uppercase to the final variable in a Java. That you can do. It's not a, I mean, uh, it's not a necessary. You can use like this. Final integer data is equals to 10 I have written. But if I have using this, so what will be the error? Data cannot be resolved to a variable. You have to write a data type here. Now this data is different and this data is different. Okay, so don't be confused. If you are going to write uppercase and lowercase, both the variable will be different. Okay, so you know, not to worry about this. Variable will be different if you are not using the same variable name which you have using upper in first variable. Okay, so what is that means? You cannot change the value of the particular variable if you have declared that variable as final. Okay, so now I'm going to talking about the final method. Suppose I have created one variable here, sorry, one method here, public void display. This is my method, and this method I have declared as final. Okay, so inside this method I am trying to use one hello message. Anything you can write. Suppose this is the method I have written, and this is inside my final class, and this is in my method. So what I will trying to do, I have created one more class here. Class name is A. Okay, inside this also I have created one more method by the same name, and the message is different. And here I have written the extends keyword, and I'm trying to extend this class A. Okay, now I will remove this. This is the case of method, so don't be confused. So in one class I have created one final method. Okay, and in next class also I have created one final method, and in main method I'm going to create an object of this class. Although in Eclipse it's giving the error, you already got the point, but let me do it for you. You can see the error here. Remove final modifier of a dot display. Okay, let me re-execute this program. Unable to load main class final keyword. Final module can be this the error. You override. That means you cannot override the final method. If you are going to write any method as a final, you cannot override it. So in this example, you can see I have created a final method named display. Inside that particular class A, I have written this display method, and that class I have extended inside that final keyword. Inside the final keyword class also I have declared one method name is display, and also I have declared this method as final and try to override. But whenever you are going to compile this, you are getting that error. You cannot override this final method. So this is the way of final methods. So final variable cannot change the value of it. Final method, you cannot override that final method. Now we are talking about the final class. Suppose I have declared this class as a final. Okay. Final class A. Forget about this method. Okay. Suppose anything. And this class is a final and I'm trying to extend this class here. Okay, now the error is different. What is that particular error? It's saying the type final keyword cannot subclass the final class A. Let me re-execute this. Unresolved compilation problem final keyword main. Is that mean you cannot inherit that particular class by another class if you are declaring any class as a final? So in this example, you can see I have created a final class named A, and I have tried to inherit the final class by the final keyword main class. When I have run this program, we are getting the compilation error. Okay, and you can see the dot as well here. That means you cannot you cannot use inheritance, or you cannot inherit the final class. You cannot change the final variable value, and you cannot override the final method. So these are the final keyword concept I have covered in this video. Hope you got this point. If you are having any doubt, you can write in a comment. I will try to explain you and resolve the doubt and try to upload it again. Okay, so you have to be remember these things. What is the final variable? You cannot change the value of that particular final variable, and if you are using the method, you cannot override it. But if you are using the final class, you cannot inherit. Okay, this is about the final. Now the question is, you have seen one error when I was trying to use the final keyword. So there was some error, blank something. Okay, you can leave it blank or uninitialized. So what is the blank or uninitialized final variable then? The question is coming from basically a final variable that is not initialized at the time of declaration. It is known as the final variable. Suppose I have declared one variable here. Okay, final integer g, but I didn't declare this. So that means it is not initialized or blank final variable. So if you would to create a variable that is initialized at the time of creating object, and once initialized may not be changed, that time the final keyword will be useful, and you can use it whenever you are trying to making a data for the employee or a student or some project where you are having the unique id, so that you can use. But and that particular value you can reassign using that constructor as well. Okay, so the concept is same. So here I will try to give you the one example. Okay, suppose you have created this class. Here only we will talking about this class only. Here I will cover this example. I will remove this. Okay, so here inside this class, what I'm trying to do is, inside this class I have created one variable, final string name, या फिर पिन कोड ले लेते हैं. Okay, pin code suppose. So this variable will be the blank or uninitialized final variable. Okay, so likewise you can use it. So initialize final field pin code declaration. So it's saying like that because it is blank. You did not declare this. Okay, so can we initialize the blank final variable? Yes, you can initialize, but only in constructor. How? I'll tell you. Inside in this only I will tell you. So here, what is this blank final variable? Okay, now I have created one constructor, and this pin code I have assigned is equals to suppose 66. Okay, so you can assign the blank final variable value, but inside only the constructor. Okay, and you can use it if you want to print it. You can print it here. Pin code This is the value which you have set. Okay, so this is the these are the three questions I have covered in this example. Also, you have to be remember somewhere you have seen the static also you are using, final also you are using. So the question is can be raised here. The interviewer can ask you the question, can you write a final keyword with static as well? Basically, a static final variable that is not initialized at the time of declaration, it is known as that static blank final variable, like same as I have right now, just before 2 seconds only I have told you. So if I'm trying to use this variable as a static here, like this static final string I have written like this. And now, can you assign this now? Yes, you can. And you already know how, because in the next session I have already told you you can use the static block to initialize the static final if you are using the static um, variable like this. So you can use like this only. Here you no need to create the object of this particular class. Okay, basically the statics, now next question will be we can be coming. So you can use the parameter as well, like parameterized concept I have already covered. Can we declare a constructor final? The question can raise. No, you cannot. Now you can raise one question, static I didn't call here in main method. Okay, so whenever you are calling, you are creating any object, by default a constructor is called, but before a constructor static block will be run. Okay, here is no constructor, I didn't create any object as well. Okay, so static gets memory into the class area. Once class will be loaded, the variable value will be assigned into the pin code and it will display as you have written the system.out.println in the inside this static block. So this was the topic related to the final keyword. I hope you guys are understand. If you are having any doubt, you can write in a comment. Feel free. I will try to be explain you and try to resolve your doubt. And thanks for watching this video. If you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe my channel. And next topic I'm going to discuss about that in the next video. That will be inheritance. Thank you for watching.